One of the most shockingest things that happened in the NBA draft was Krysteen Peek's attempted takedown of the Zach Edey pick to the Memphis Grizzlies. This can be quick, Cart. We don't need to spend too much time on this, but much like our whole Aaron Torres dialogue in the middle of the season, there's some things I want to say on this. So Krysteen Peek is a draft analyst. She does more than just draft stuff, but her Twitter bio says she's an NBA draft analyst for Yahoo Sports, contributor to Rival. She covers the top high school players in the country. I am not trying to come on here and disrespect Krysteen Peek, the person, in any way. I'm sure she works very hard at her job. I'm sure she has done a great job plenty of times before in her career. With that said, I think this was a massive miss from her. She had a quote that says, "This is one of the worst draft picks I've seen in draft history." That's her talking about Zach Edey going 9th overall to the Memphis Grizzlies. If you dig further, Krysteen Peek graded every single pick in the first round of the NBA draft. She gave every single team a B grade or higher, but she torched the Zach Edey pick and said it was the worst pick or one of the worst picks she's ever seen in draft history. She also just used a bunch of words that don't exist in the process of trying to explain, like shockingest. What a shockingest pick that was. It's a disaster clip. If you watch it, it seems personal. It seems like targeted at Zach Edey for some reason. I don't know how you as a draft analyst can land on saying the most productive college player we've seen in 30 years is the worst pick you've seen in your life. I just don't see that. Unless you have a personal agenda or something against Zach Edey or the Grizzlies, I don't know how a human being could possibly feel this way unless you're going for clicks and virality. So what are your thoughts? You already heard my thoughts. What do you make of her statement on this?
Well, I mean, the first thing I want to just echo from you is the first round grades was the funniest part of me, because you can't tell me it's not personal when Zach Edey got a D, but you gave AJ Johnson to the Bucks a B plus. You gave Dylan Jones and at the end of the first round a B minus, and everyone else is just getting A's, and B's, and then Zach Edey gets a D. It doesn't make much sense to me coming out and saying that. It, like you said, it does feel personal, which is weird to me. Because I don't think you should make it that way ever. And like I said, we're not on here to just like attack her and call her out and basically I don't know. We don't want to like question her character, I guess is the phrase we'd use or something like that. But I don't I can't have people coming out and being like, this pick is awful, this pick is trash, this pick is one of the worst picks of all time, without giving me something else of why it is. Because when you start getting down to the why of this, it fits. Like Zach Edey makes sense for the Grizzlies. Like we said, you can check out the video on our channel. So giving this a D, I just don't understand it. And I would actually love to get reasoning from anybody or her on why she feels that way.
Bart, the thing is, she gave it a C grade. So she's calling it one of the worst grades she's ever seen in
No,
her life, and she gives it a C.
I'm looking at the Yahoo Sports graphic she posted. She gave it a D.
I believe in her video, she says it's a C. So this woman, I don't know what she's doing. I straight up don't know what she's doing. I mean, I think she's just going for like shock value here. She records like the selfie style video. Maybe she had a quota. Maybe Yahoo Sports was like, hey, we need you to pick one pick you hate and just destroy it. But it makes no sense, right? You ran through some of the other names. Look, I have no issue. We're not sitting here making this video. We're not doing this. I have no issue if you come out and you don't like the Zach Edey pick. I don't have a problem with that. I understand why people could be skeptical and maybe think it's a bad pick or too early. He went earlier than some people expected. I have no issue with any of that. My issue is when you say it's the only bad pick in the whole draft. That makes no sense. Like, there were a bazillion picks that shocked everyone. There's certainly no way to say, oh, 29 of these teams crushed it, but the team that got the most productive player in college history fumbled this more than you could ever imagine. Like, it just logically makes no sense. And it has to be personal, or it has to be like, there has to be some reason here beyond what she actually believes for her to go so loudly antagonistic towards a guy who is a prospect worth considering, at least at 9. Like that, this isn't that far off. Memphis was a rumored landing spot for Zach Edey. So I don't get it. We don't need to spend more time on this. I'm just very frustrated that he seems like the only guy this type of shit happens to. That's the most frustrating part to me, you know?
You think Krysteen Peek saw the pick?
I don't know.
Can't give a guy a D after seeing the pick like that.
Yeah. The pick.
Yeah, the pick. I refer to it as the pick.
Yeah, it bumps up to like at least a B- with that.
Yeah, come
right?
on.
Yeah. What grades do you think like Kristen Peek got in school? Like I think she's a little confused on like how A through F grading system works.
I feel like she was in like all advanced AP classes.
Yeah. I get
Can
that
you
vibe
guess
too.
what college she went to? And I guess and see who gets closest. Don't cheat.
Hmm.
I think she went to UCLA.
It would make sense if she went to Indiana, honestly. I'm gonna say Syracuse. Journalism.
Oh God, that was some good productive work by you.
Yeah, thanks.
Now we need to look this up. Sorry, this makes her a bad listen, people.
It's okay. They don't care.
You sure we don't?
Ah,
Krysteen Peek. She's from Hermosa Beach, California. I might have the upper hand here.
you are so good at knowing where prospects come from. It's just insane.
She went to Nyack College.
Where's that?
Wait, is that it's a Alliance U, formerly Nyack College, is a liberal arts Christian university located in downtown New York City. So we were kind of close here.
So we're all kind of right.
Yeah.
The only person who's wrong here is Kristen Peek.
Yeah.
That's a win for us.